socialists are often presented in a faux manner, in a way that we're not. The Taglicious Heil quite often presents us like that, as does the Scum, as does the Excess, and as does the BBC. We're all sort of Wilfie Smith type characters who wish for power to the people but want to sit on our arse and do nothing, and we just want to claim off the state and pretend that everything's going to be fine. And there's this ridiculous idea that somehow we think that equality of opportunity means the same as equality of condition. We do not wish that. We do not wish to make all people alike in a kind of Stalinist state where we all live in the same flats and all drive the same larders. But it's exactly what the media want you to think that socialism is all about. Here's Owen, our protagonist in The Ragged Trousered Philanthropists, the Oblong, addressing some of that. Now stop looking at me and just look at this brilliant cover on the Granada edition. First man to begin speaking is Crass, one of the painters, okay? Just checking you're still there. We're not talking about religion, exclaimed Crass impatiently. Then what are you talking about? I never said anything about sharing out or bearing one another's burdens. I don't profess to give everyone who asks of me, to give to everyone who asks of me, or to give my cloak to the man who takes away my coat. I have read that Christ taught his followers must do all these things, but I do not pretend to be one of his followers. I don't do them. But you believe in Christianity. Why don't you do the things he said? As nobody seemed to know the answer to this question, the lecture proceeded. In this matter of the difference between so-called Christians and socialists, the facts are these. Christ taught the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of men. Those who today pretend to be Christ's followers hypocritically profess to carry out these teachings now, but they don't. They have arranged the battle of life system. Let me just pause for a second and explain battle of life. It means social Darwinism. It means survival of the fittest. It means you get to the top by any means. It means if you don't contribute, you're sick, disabled, can't work, left unemployed. You die on the streets, your family starve, or perhaps you are sent to a work camp. Okay, back to the text. Owen replies to this. Yeah? The socialist, very much against his will, finds himself in the midst of this horrible battle, and he appeals to the other combatants to cease fighting and to establish a system of brotherly love and mutual helpfulness. But he does not hypocritically pretend to practice brotherly love towards those who will not agree to his appeal and who compel him to fight with them for his very life. He knows that in the battle he must either fight or go under. Therefore, in self-defense he fights, but all the time he continues his appeal for the cessation of the slaughter. He pleads for changing of the system. He advocates cooperation instead of competition. But how can he now cooperate with people who insist on competing with him? No individual can practice cooperation by himself. Socialism can only be practiced by the community. That is the meaning of the word. At present, the other members of the community, the Christians, deride and oppose the socialists' appeal. It is these pretend Christians who do not practice what they preach, because all the time they are singing their songs of brotherhood and love, they are fighting with each other and strangling each other and trampling each other under the horrible foot of their battle of life. No socialist suggests sharing out money or anything else in the manner you say. And another thing, if you had more sense, you might be able to perceive this stock argument of yours is really an argument against the present system, inasmuch as it proves that money is in and of itself no use. Supposing all the money was shared out equally, and supposing there was enough of it for everyone to have £10,000, and suppose they then all thought they were rich and none of them would work, what would they live on? Their money? Could they eat or drink or wear it? It would take them a very long time to find out that this wonderful money, under which the present system is the most powerful thing in existence, is really no more than so much dirt. Doesn't that say everything? Look at the battle of life he's talking about. Look at the people in power treading on, stepping on each other. Look at Damien Pornhub Green. Look at the Night of the Long Knives as they're all out to stab each other in the back and get more power and more power and more power. Look at them like ants organised into an army, with worker ants and soldier ants and a queen ant. Look at social Darwinism. Even amongst themselves, they fight. They fight for life. They fight for survival. The socialist says, and here's the key word, let's cooperate. Let's mutually help and sustain each other. There's none of this rubbish about everyone gets £10,000, we're all going to be equal. That's a faux socialism. It's presented in the Mail, it's presented in the Express, it's presented in the Times, it's presented in the Sun, it's presented on the BBC, but it's not real. We do not claim that everyone should have an equality of condition. As I hinted at earlier, that we all live in the same Muscovite flat, we all drive the same larder, we all wear the same uniform, and it's like, it's like Ingsoc, Big Brother version of what society should be all about. That's nothing to do with socialism. We will have a variety of abilities, a variety of different trades that we can all employ and produce for the common good. But as socialists, we try to arrange this world in a manner that the weak do not go to the wall. There is no longer a system of any NHS where if you're sick, you die, where if you're unemployed, you just live on the streets on your wits, and if you can't get food, you starve. Socialism is not about that, but socialism, be very much aware, is not how your masters in the media and in the BBC, especially the Tory-owned media, present it to you. What they present is a fake. It's a false image. It's, I don't know, quote Mao, it's a sort of paper tiger socialism. It's a paper tiger. It's false. It's what they want you to see, because they want to scare you. They want to scare you that workers cooperating and helping each other and working for the common good and living for the benefit of others rather than their exploitation, well, they don't want you believing that, because that'll stop you believing in capitalism. It'll stop you being a good consumer, And what's more, it'll stop the kind of hate from you that they need of others, because their system grows and is motivated by and primarily exists on the basis of all kinds of hate, greed, selfishness, self-indulgence, and always willing to do somebody else down, another stab in the back, always ready for that next position, another kick somebody out the way to get what you want, what you demand, another ignore their human rights because your rights as a consumer are all that matter. Think about it. Please think about what I've just read you. That book is a life changer for me. I was pretty much a socialist already. It just confirms what I know, believe, and feel, and trust in this still beating heart, thanks to our NHS and bypass surgery. For free.